What's up guys? So it's been over a year since I first started flying FPV drones. I started flying back in August 2019. That's when I actually finished building my first ever drone. And so basically we're going to be going over my progress throughout the year, and I think it's going to be really interesting. But before we get right into that, I want to describe how exactly did I get into this weird but fun, crazy hobby. So it all started when my parents had a family friend over, and he brought his drone over, and this was a DJI, or just like a regular DJI Mavic drone, just like one like this where it folds out, you know, just a regular drone. And he showed me all the cool features it had, like it has a gimbal on it, folds up, it has a freaking GPS on it, all that stuff on it. And I thought it was like really cool. And keep in mind, I had no idea what drones were. The only drone I knew of at that point was the Phantom 4, and the only reason why I didn't really know that much about drones is because I didn't really have that much money to know about them. I was a teenager in high school. I'm not gonna have money to buy drones. Anyways, after I saw that drone, I decided that I really wanted to save up for it, because I did have a job. I was in high school, but I still had a job, and I did have some money saved up, and I literally had nothing to do. Like, all I would do is play video games, and that's it. So I went on YouTube and I looked up drones. From that, I found out about drone racing, which was like the drone racing league on YouTube. And then after that, I also found out about FPV freestyle, and I thought it was just insane what people were able to do with drones. And after seeing people flying like abandoned buildings next to skyscrapers, all this crazy stuff, I decided I wanted to get into the hobby. So anyways, let's get right into it. We're gonna look at my whole story of FPV from when I finished building my first quad to now. My first ever flight launched right from my backyard. I was so eager to put my quad in the air that I did not care where it was. Ideally, I should have flown in a big field. However, I made a rookie mistake. I crashed onto my roof. The next month followed, and I started getting used to flying FPV. Putting on goggles and flying a fast drone was a completely new experience to me. It was a very unique feeling. I could fly and move however I wanted to. It was like playing a video game but in real life, which is a feeling I quickly began to love. Once I got comfortable with FPV, I focused on learning new tricks. A combination of flips, rolls, turns, and spins are what made up my style. One trick I was not able to get down was power looping, so I decided to break that horizon. In November, I started going to spots that were a lot more sketchy, but definitely worth the risk. This abandoned building I found offered so many new tricks and movements to pull off, and if I messed up, there would be a lot more consequences to my drone. One big obstacle I had to overcome was my video feed. The building created lots of breakup in the video signal, making it much harder to navigate inside. Now, I do not have a top-notch video and goggle setup, so please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. Anyways, back to the video. December was the month where I improved by getting a lot more smooth and precise with my flying. I was able to put my quad in any position I wanted to. It was like everything just clicked into my head and I really started feeling improvement. However, this was nothing compared to what the year 2020 had to offer. I started off the year by trying something I always wanted to do, cinematic flying. While my shots were not anything mind-blowing, I was still amazed by how smooth it looked. I took my flying skills over to beautiful spots while capturing vibrant sunsets. This was one thing that I always wanted to do with FPV. This was the beginning of a new chapter. The month of February came and I pushed my freestyle abilities past its limits. I flew at locations that were new and fun to fly at. This was when I really started to enhance my style of flying. I became addicted to flying FPV at different spots. In March, I built my second FPV drone, and it flew a lot more like the way I wanted it to. This new quad allowed me to lock in full control. There isn't much else to say other than I became an FPV maniac, so I'll let the rest of the footage speak for itself. After going absolutely nuts with freestyle, I got way better at flying cinematic FPV. I flew the most epic flights in Sedona, which is hands down one of the most beautiful places in Arizona. Overall, I was very confident in my skills that I could fly super far away or even over water. In July, I didn't fly much due to the scorching hot temperature in Phoenix, but I did create a new build which was a tiny drone with a naked GoPro on it. Alright, that's gonna wrap up my whole year of FPV, my first year, and it's been a really crazy ride. Now I know I've shown all these clips and I didn't really show too many crashes, but the one thing I do want to make sure that gets known is that as many clips I've had shown in this video, there have been like probably 3 times the amount of crashes. So if you're getting into FPV and you're crashing a lot, just know like that's how you know you're getting better. And now the direction I'm going with FPV is flying cinematic. I just love producing like quality flights that look really smooth. So go ahead and check out my website, habibdrones.com. That's just a little portfolio website I've created because that's what I want to focus on when it comes to FPV. I still fly freestyle a lot, but cinematic is just so good. And before I close this off, I do want to thank some well-known figures in the FPV community. These are just people that have inspired me to do all this crazy stuff. That would be Mr. Steele, Johnny FPV, and especially Joshua Bardwell. I have a lot of respect for Joshua Bardwell because when I was starting out with FPV and I was having troubles with building this thing for the first time, I would send emails to Joshua Bardwell and he'd respond like every day. You don't even have to pay him or anything. He's just one of the nicest guys in the community. So anyways, if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a comment. Let me know what you think about it. And yeah, peace.